Hi, I'm John Walters, and today I've prepared a speech that explains why I believe NCAA athletes should be paid. If you play a sport in college, then you know how hard it can be to manage your time between schoolwork and athletic events. Maintaining good grades can be a major challenge for these student athletes due to the amount of dedication that they put forth towards their sport. With this being said, I strongly believe college athletes should receive payment for their hard work and dedication to their sport. To elaborate on this, one main reason why I believe that athletes in college deserve payment is because of the amount of revenue that they generate, not only for their schools, but for the NCAA as well. According to an article on ESPN's website, in 2022/23, the NCAA produced roughly $1.3 billion of income thanks to the hard work of these athletes. Most of the money was granted to the NCAA through deals with different broadcasting and streaming companies such as CBS and Hulu. These companies make games and events easy to stream on a variety of different platforms. With this amount of income being generated yearly, there is absolutely no reason as to why these athletes shouldn't be receiving at least small portions of the money. Students could put this money towards textbooks, school supplies, or any other expenses that come along with attending college. Out of all the funds that the NCAA acquires yearly, it is claimed that half the money is distributed back to Division I schools. Although giving back is a good thought, it is a huge waste of money in the long run, as no university is capable of updating their facilities and buildings yearly. Colleges and universities are being granted millions and millions of dollars as opposed to distributing portions to the students who need it much more. To bring up my next point as to why college athletes should receive payment, the amount of money and effort that these athletes dedicate to their sport is very comparable to a job. Numerous hours of workouts, practices, games, and events are required weekly if you want to play a high-level sport in college. Many of these practices and events also occur very early in the morning or very late at night. On top of all this, athletes are held to certain standards in the classroom as well. Student athletes are required to maintain a certain GPA in order to be eligible or to perform in practices and games. This can be extremely difficult for some NCAA athletes due to the amount of time that they're required to give to their sport. With the amount of time and dedication these athletes are giving to their sport on top of being full-time college students, it is very unclear to me as to why these athletes aren't being rewarded. And then another reason why I feel these athletes should receive compensation is because they're at a much greater risk of injury compared to a student who is not playing the sport. These student athletes put their well-being at risk every single day when they play the sport they love. One bad injury could affect one of the students for the rest of their lives and really change the course of their future. Because these athletes are at high risks of injury and put themselves on the line every day for their sport, I feel these athletes should definitely be receiving more recognition than they currently are. Finally, to wrap things up, college athletes should receive payment because of the large amounts of money they generate for their school and for the NCAA. Another reason they should receive compensation is because of the amount of time and energy that they put towards their sport. Lastly, these athletes should receive some form of payment because they put themselves at a high risk of injury every single day. Playing a high-level sport while participating in a full-time college schedule can be very draining and takes extreme dedication. For these reasons, I believe that NCAA athletes should be paid. One website that I used to help gather information was called research.com, and this website contained an article written by Imed Bochurka, and it was very helpful to my speech. Another website that I used was gcu.com, and this website contained a short article by Matt Johnson that discussed the pros and cons of paying student athletes. And then the next article that helped me with my speech was written by George Winograd and was titled 10 Reasons Why College Athletes Should Be Paid in 2024. One scholarly source that I used for my information was a journal article, and This article was written by Chris Noster in 2020. And then the next scholarly article that I used to gather credible information for my speech was on taylorandfrancisonline.com. And this journal was published in 2018 and contained valuable information toward my speech as well. Thank you.